We got the community ball of Twitch, Summyah.
Is one of the most important things you have to consider when you make the decision of being a content. Digital footprint is one of the most important things you have to consider when you make the decision of being a content creator. When people want to do research on you, having your worst moment pop up is not something you want. You don't want to end up like Tyler the Creator.
I got Swifties all mad at me with their racist bringing up old lyrics. Go listen to Tron Cat. They gonna bring out the old me.
I'm joking, but seriously, even though Tyler has moved past his more vulgar background, his digital footprint still haunts him till this day. And in the past, even I've tried to make sense of it. But the point is that you don't want to be in a position where people try to make sense of your digital footprint. And you don't want to have to address narratives and things that are being said about you and your name. Move preventively and don't allow things to happen. I really want to look at this situation from my lens and analyze it. That's what we're gonna do today. So let me stop yapping because y'all know I'm the hood Socrates, and let's actually start. This all started when Dabo had this streamer named Summyah on stream as his therapist, but he started cooking her low key.
Trying to make it seem like something that's not play. It's cool.
So honestly, this is all AI. Is that what you're interpreting?
It's ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. So we're both yapping right now. Okay, chill. So I feel like, you know, what you gotta start taking accountability. It seems like you was trying to be like, you.
Dabo is so. I don't like commenting on another dude's looks unless like I'm complimenting him on some respectful stuff. But Dabo's so cooked. Golly, brother. Why do people? Is he funny? Is that what people tune into his stuff? Respectfully, of course. Respectfully, I'm not trying to knock anybody else's bag or anything, but like, golly, brother.
Not everybody ball all this. You gotta start taking accountability.
Nigga, I'm not everybody ball.
If you don't take accountability, if you don't fucking take accountability,
Who ball am I then? No.
nigga, Twitch.tv's.
I'ma smack the shit out of you.
Okay, my fault. Okay.
What you talking about?
Okay, my fault. Okay, generally. Okay.
Definitely ain't your ball. Ain't you on Twitch?
Girl, I don't want to be your boss.
What?
Girl, I don't want to.
What?
Girl, I don't want to do that. I don't do
You'll
that.
never get the chance to do.
I'm not gonna lie. Twitch.tv ball is crazy work. But he do got that though. I'm not gonna lie. He buddy in the back, he already know. He already know it. I'm not gonna lie. Could he pull that? No. But that Twitch.tv, that's a bar. That's a bar. I'm not gonna lie.
No, and I never wanted to.
Never get no balls.
Never
Don't
wanted
do that.
to.
Don't do that.
Generally.
First of all, Dabo, that was a little hilarious. I know that's off topic, but seriously, I be using women lingo like that. But honestly, she's definitely the community ball. She's an outside ball at that, and she's been getting dribbled. And I don't feel bad saying that. Shorty is essentially the female version of a male content creator who spams women content. This type of joking is merely the product of that. But before we go any further, I need to give you guys some context, because she definitely did this to herself. Apparently, Summyah is a mean girl streamer, and if you remember during Streamer University, there was hella drama, hella controversy. But part of that drama was bigger streamers egoing people. This girl was apparently avoiding all these small streamers and only going for other big streamers. Well, I guess I'll say mid-sized streamer because she had 100K going in, or at least that's what they're saying.
I feel like you don't really collaborate with everybody. I feel like you feel like you collaborate with niggas out there. Like, if you see a content creator, nah, he was out there. But like, for example, I could clock T crazy. Yesterday, Kai came in the suite when, what's her name, Asian girl? Nina was making the whole shit. We was in there, other people came in there, you opened the door, you see niggas, you slammed that door mad quick.
Because my chat said she was singing loud.
Stop cap.
That's not capping.
Now I understand that you're here to help your brand. That's what Streamer University was about. You want to be around all these big people, but I think it definitely gets to a point if you get called to the office. And also, once again, she had about 100K followers going in, so it's not like she was desperate for the put on or desperate for the collabs. And then the thing that was getting me is that, nigga, she's just around all these big male streamers. And obviously, she's making that type of flirtatious content, this stuff that goes viral, whatever. I can't stop her, but damn, why you gotta just be around all these dudes?
Y'all gotta go back to that. She might be up.
Video call on your PC, okay? Video call?
Yes, bro.
How do y'all feel?
Yes.
Did you enjoy your time handcuffed?
Oh God, I did. Oh, free now though.
You just talking about you better go to that girl room while we handcuffs.
Look at those handcuffs, by the way. Those are not normal. Do your research. Those are not safe for work handcuffs. And the fact that Summyah was even willing to participate in this activity is already very telling about her as a person. And that's just setting the tone for who she is as a content creator. And I need you guys to remember this. Repetition is personality. And as you watch this video, you'll see how repeated actions.
That's a bar. Repetition is personality. It's one of those things, you know. First time is an accident. Second time is what is it? I can't remember what second time is. third, like one, the higher you, the more times you do something, basically, the more likely it just is, right? You can only pass it off as an accident, a whoopsie, oh, it happened. Oh, you know, it just happened to be the perfect situation for this. Like, there's only but so many times you could push it off as that before it's just like, buddy, your track record says you finish in fifth place more than you finish in first. You're a fifth place racer. If your track record says you can do XYZ, but you can't do XYZ, but you can't do ABC, buddy, you're an XYZ specialist. Just saying. He's spitting right now.
Become associated with character. Everything that's been said about her is a product of that same repetition. Now that I've shown you that she's willing to do that type of stuff for content, this is her and DDG's interaction.
It says you're 17.
I'm not 17, bro. I wouldn't even be here.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
I see you in class. Good night.
Yo, no Q&A?
I see you in class.
Damn, Chad. I can't even talk to my professor. I've been saying I wanted a one-on-one this whole time.
I see you in class.
Damn.
Be there.
Can I know our next first assignment?
Nope. Good night.
You sure I didn't get no cheat code?
Good night.
For the first time, I can say I actually messed with what DDG did. This was mad mature and the appropriate response to learning Summyah is 19. DDG is 27 and he does his own freaked out girl content. So I applaud him for not wanting to include and indulge in a 19-year-old's clear attempts at flirting with them. And she's talking about some one-on-one time. If a shorty wants one-on-one time, what do y'all think that means? But with the context in mind, you have to understand that this woman is portraying herself as someone who is willing to do boy content, flirt with big streamers, various big streamers at that, just for the clips and attention. So it was only inevitable that she'd be called the community ball. She goes to Streamer University, a place where a lot of people are building their brand and getting known. And when you look at her digital footprint of that, all you see is clips of her and niggas. I'm hardly seeing solo clips, reaction content, desktop content. It's just her and niggas. So let's just move away from Streamer University because there's a clip of Funny Mike and Jay Cinco laughing at her because she says she's nobody's ball.
Hey, stop all that. Nobody's ball. She said she nobody's ball, Mike. She said she nobody's ball. She said she don't get dribbled. I believe that shit.
That's funny. That's funny.
No, he's just talking.
Mike.
Is she nobody's ball or is she everybody's ball? Keep it a stat.
You gotta go to sleep,
Now this clip was straight up bullying, not even gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I feel bad for Shorty, but look who she's around. A bunch of niggas. A bunch of niggas you probably shouldn't.
I don't think it's bullying. Call me crazy. I don't think it's bullying. I think she did it to herself. She set herself up for the lob attempt. If you stand under the rim, you can't be surprised when somebody put the ball down on you. You can't be surprised when buddy grabbing rim with two hands. Dropping nothing but buckets. Putting it on you. You did it to yourself. You signed up, you signed the waiver. You signed the injury release waiver. They're not responsible. You are. You put yourself in a position. Why you say it with them dudes if you know what they're used to doing? You know the way they joke. You can't be surprised if they sit there and try and push it that far. I don't think it's bullying. Nah. I think you set yourself up for it.
Be around. Jay Cinco is a girl content merchant and he be around Deshae Frost, a fellow girl content merchant. That's enough
No Deshae Frost.
reason to avoid that space. But what is somebody doing? Sitting on the dude's freaking lap. Same dude that's laughing about her being a community ball is the same one whose lap she's sitting on. And in the clip, bro, they're frying her so bad. And what is her response?
Nah, it's just content.
Which, okay, Summyah, it may just be content, but why does your content have to be flirtatious? And before y'all say anything, I'm against girl content as well. I don't even like Deshae Frost. I don't like Jay Cinco, and that's because I'm a young man. I'm not about to sit up here and watch other men flirt with girls. That's odd and very gooned out. Just because it's content don't mean it's not gonna have adverse effects on you or how people perceive you. And for me, I'm personally perceiving Summyah as a woman who is going from big male streamer to big male streamer. I'm not even trolling. Shorty was just on a date with a dude named E-Man and I've never heard of him. But you wanna know what's crazy about that? And I mean no shade, because the first time I hear about E-Man is through a Summyah collab.
Hello. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Not the glaze. That boy E-Man like that. E-Man, he had the cocoa butter kisses. Like, he had that audio on lock. Every time you heard the audio, it was giving dudes flashbacks. It was giving them PTSD. Because they man, E-Man, every time he dropped a video, bro, I remember he pulled up to NCA&T, bro. He was sitting there on camp getting after it. Like his videos, granted, are all about like chopping it up, getting to know women. That's fine. That's fine. We not policing that. But like we can't sit here and just be like, if he about to sit there and say E-Man just like some dude. I understand if this is your first time hearing E-Man because he's not like on the mainstream. Like he does a lot more YouTube stuff. I don't really think, to my knowledge, I don't think he streamed. Like every clip, every audio, everything that I've ever seen of him was a YouTube video like snippet of him going on somebody's campus, going to a store, going to the mall or whatever, and just chopping it up with a girl, getting her number, and like keeping it pushing. And he's not an ugly dude either, so you know it works. But we're not gonna play with E-Man now. We're not gonna play with E-Man because E-Man really got it like that. No glaze.
I'm playing basketball with a bros and shit. I'm in the middle of a game. I'm gonna call you after. Bet. I can't wait for this guy's on shit. I ain't gonna lie, gang. I need your beanie, nigga. I can't jump. My shit. What the fuck do you mean, though?
You have a girlfriend?
Hmm?
You have a girlfriend? There's a girl named with a heart.
Bro, that is my sister.
Started with me. And you just lied and told me we're playing basketball.
I thought we was playing later. I was just manifesting.
All right. Now I'm about to be texting all my little shit.
What?
And she just be looking so uncomfortable. And I think that's part of a bigger problem because these male streamers don't see women as women. They see them as assets to the content. And I touch on that later. But because they see them as assets, they see them as, oh, this is just another shorty in my roster. So
another shorty in your roster is crazy. I do definitely think that some of them do view it that way. But I think other of them, I think the more apt thing was the initial, them being a part of content. Not being an object, so to speak, but being like, you are an accessory. Or if she's a big enough content creator, like once you reach India love spaces, like she's like if you're a game system, if you're a game system, she's like the cartridge that she's like a plug and play, or like she's like a skill boost that you can add in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like not to sit there and act like, oh, she's not her own individual, or oh, these girls aren't their own individuals. They don't cook their own stuff up, because you know sometimes they do, right? But when the majority, like for Summyah, like when the majority of her stuff is always her attached to somebody else, not her reacting to a video, like he said, not her playing a video game, not her doing, you know, a story time with makeup and whatever. It's almost every single viral moment is her sitting there with somebody else, either getting clowned or getting rizzed, or her trying to rizz, or like all that sort of stuff. So I can understand it not being like, I can understand it being one of those things where somebody just feels like some sort of way about it. I can understand it just being like, you don't respect her as a fellow content creator because she's always been an accessory. She's never been a standalone. She's never even been Nightwing, right? She's always been Robin, and not even Tim Drake Robin, not Robin from Teen Titans that drops the double knees down in Teen Titans in Tokyo. We're talking like the Robin that got smacked off in like within the first 2 years of being Robin, right? Because there's 6 or 7 different Robins. Like she's one of the ones that met an untimely demise mad early, right? She's an accessory. If she was her own creator, right? If she was like Senna's a good one, right? Like Senna's done videos with different guys and stuff, and like there was a while where people were like being parasocial and, you know, shipping her and Agent together and whatnot. And now Agent's like supposed to be doing a marathon with Emily eventually, like just stuff like that. That's a different kind of content creator because they have their own platform. They do their own thing, but they also step into these lanes and like, hey, and they chop it up. And it's usually one content creator and they do a whole block. Like it's a scheduled thing where 2 people, it's like the merging of 2 businesses almost. But compared to her, there's no structure behind what she's been doing. And I think that's a bigger problem for her, respectfully.
of course she'd be uncomfortable because the dude's on the girl talking to another woman, so come on. I also think that she probably feels like she has to do this to succeed, but once again, I'll touch on that at the end. Now, on 2 separate occasions from what I've seen, Summyah has responded to the community ball comments. Let's look at the first one. This was after Dabo trolled her.
The Twitch TV ball comment was not funny. I didn't find it funny at all. I'm not y'all balls. I'm nobody's ball. Like, what the fuck? And yeah, that's it. That's all. Because it'd be the same people saying like, oh, she's for everybody. She's like, you know, and as soon as I get in your face, you'll jump the first chance you get, and you'll be surprised. The negative clips, like you go on Twitter, type my name in. It's weird. You go on TikTok to any man, it gets weird.
Okay, I do agree. Niggas are hypocrites. If Shorty was in the face of half of the people calling her a 304 or a ball, they'd be going. But that's just men being dumb. Not saying it makes it okay, but you guys know the communities of these big streamers. I also think that people don't be criticizing the male streamers enough for being balls themselves. And if we're being honest, those guys are really like outdoor and one balls. If you're a hooper, you know what I'm talking about. Deshae Frost, for example, he's for show a community ball. I mean, he could have literally got burnt. I don't know if y'all remember the Gucci third leg situation. The dude Deshae Frost, he nearly got burnt by messing with Danae Davis. But my point is, male streamers be worse than community balls. They literally be pickup game balls. And that double standard is something I also want to touch on more at the end. Her second response though was a little hard.
I'm not gonna lie. Deshae might be the worst ball of all time. Like, he might objectively be the worst ball. I don't think there's any positive you get from messing with Deshae Frost as a woman. Respectfully. I'm sure like he probably do touch bread like decently, right? It's not A&P level, but he definitely touched bread for real. But me personally, his content just never hit. And I'm a guy, and I know he doesn't gear his content towards women. He gears it towards guys and doing the women content that he does, like including girls and stuff like that. So he's just more on the, I guess, annoying side, or just like, I just don't vibe with it too heavy. Respectfully, of course. It's just not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And one outdoor. I think it might be Walmart outdoor. The ones where the grip just rubs off mad easy and that thing dumb smooth, and then start getting a lump in it. Yeah, one of them.
Break. Now I'm not gonna lie.
I just don't do shit like this. Is so weird. Yeah, I'm on stream right now, and I'm just calling to let you know. Are you free to talk right now or no?
I'm right now. I said, you okay? What happened?
No, I just don't appreciate yesterday or no, this morning. That's it. That's all. How y'all try to make it seem like I was in a room with Punga and I wasn't. Y'all knew that.
I mean, you trolling, lady. You dead ass.
I'm just, that's right, hang up. Because I'm not trolling. Like, what the I done had talks with these people off camera and told them.
She does troll, though. That's part of the problem. That's why he asked if she was dead serious.
Like, I don't appreciate the narrative going around. And I'm only addressing it online. I let everything else slide. Like, I do. But if you come to something on the internet, I'm going to address it on the internet. Period, point blank. Y'all, it wasn't a problem when niggas was laughing on camera. The fuck? Now it's a problem when I made somebody feel bad and they want to address the narrative. No.
And honestly, bro, I really do feel bad for her. And I know I said at the start I don't and that she deserves it, but even though I think she be getting around, and not literally, but just being around on everyone's streams, she's not being treated right. And I don't agree with that. But guess what the context was? She is responding to a rumor about her and another streamer. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of empathy that can be given to Summyah. Seriously, she's a content creator who is just now in the spotlight. But with that being said, there's also an extreme amount of accountability that needs to be taken. Number one, girl, stop going to all these streams and flirting. I'm so serious. I don't see Senna with this problem. She's not getting 1,000 rumors about her and dudes. Number two, Summyah, stop trusting all these big creators. If you're a fan of me, you know I really don't be messing with streamers, big creators, whatever, especially these modern ones. And that's because they do things like this, okay? They will make content with you, they be cracking jokes with you, but when you're going through it, they be nowhere to be found. You feel me? Like a snake, ready to pounce, they consume you. Or I guess in this scenario, leaving her to the hyenas, like no Lion King. Anyways, but let me give y'all my candid thoughts on this. I want to start with the hypocrisy. There is clearly a double standard with male streamers. They're allowed to do what Summyah does, and they don't get bop allegations. They get told, big bro, you're him. And that's unfortunate, but Summyah, as a woman, you got to recognize this and move two ways. You either don't try to navigate the streaming world like a man, or you take pride in it. There are 304s and community balls that revel in it, and nobody cares. Ruby Rose, Tiana Trump, those are women that people consider passed around. The women who really do be around other men, like really, way worse than what you be doing, but they don't let it get to them, at least not on the surface. I don't see it. So if you're gonna do what you're gonna do, Summyah, just navigate it while not letting nobody see how it makes you feel. Now I know what she's doing is networking, but seriously, she needs to reevaluate her content now. She don't need to be up under all these men. She can do her own thing, because as I keep saying, repetition makes personality. She's constantly around all these freaked out male streamers. She's gonna be seen as a groupie, and I'd hate it for her. I think the last thing I want to say though is maybe Summyah feels like she has to produce this type of content to go up. The streamer space can be harsh for women, I won't lie. They're put in a box by various male streamers, and that could be a video in and of itself. Y'all let me know if y'all want that. The box is that they're an asset to the content, not actually women, but the appeal, a way to keep a streamer's teenage male audience engaged. So maybe there's underlying pressures to flirt, to perform, but she just gotta realize it don't gotta be like that, especially when she's a year older than me. So in general, Summyah, if you see this, slow down, okay? You is moving like a community ball. If you dial it back, especially on your appearances, change up your content, you can beat these rumors, okay? And you have to do it, because these niggas ain't gonna help you. That's all I had to say though. Subscribe for more
He's cooking, I'm not gonna lie. He's cooking. Bro only 18? Bro doing it. Bro in his bag like the fries at the bottom. But yeah, he hit the nail on the head. I think like, especially when it comes to like where she's at right now, she has the opportunity to pivot. It's not too late. She's not like, and you could argue, well, for guys like, for example, like AJ and a lot of the A&P members, they started out in the 2K community and then they reached 100. They reached like 1 million subs, and they started pivoting. They started doing other stuff, and now they reached a point where they can do whatever they want, and people gonna watch regardless because they rock with Agent, they rock with Duke, they rock with Kai, they rock with Phantom, they rock with Chris, they rock with Davis. You know what I'm saying? They rock with them as creators and as people individually. They don't just rock with them because of the type of content that they originally started on, right? For her, I think it said like she had 191,000 followers or whatever on Twitch. That's good, right? But it's not mega star, right? There's a lot of people in the content creator space or in the Twitch space specifically or in the WL community that haven't heard of her or just kind of know her name, but they don't have a face to put to it. She has the opportunity to still pivot. She could switch things up and make it more creative if she really wants to. But again, it's if she really wants to. Because she could take two routes. She can either double down and keep going down this route, and she's gonna keep getting pressed. She's gonna keep feeling pressed. She's gonna keep getting low-key disrespected, low-key made fun of on a consistent basis. Or she can pivot, start doing some reactions, start playing some scary games. I play scary games. Just start playing some scary games. Play some scary games. Play some. Get some of the girls. Get some of the girls and run an Among Us lobby. I've never seen an all-girls Among Us lobby. That sounds crazy, but like in the content creator space, I've never seen it before. She could do that. She knows a lot of girls. She'd be having girls around her too. You know, she could be like Careless Kitty and start picking up COD. She'll probably be dog water at it at first, right? Or pick up Valorant or some popular game and just start playing it, right? Because people are going to tune in because she's pretty. That's one of the main reasons why anybody watches her. So if she's pretty and she tries other stuff that her fan base is really into, she has the opportunity to succeed. Even if she's not good at it at the beginning. Like I said, she's going to be hot dog water at most of the games that she starts trying. But if she just attempts, she has the opportunity to be really successful. Not going to lie. Because I'm not going to say it's it's tremendously easier for girls in the streaming community. But if you're a pretty girl, you're going to have the opportunity to be backed by the gooner community, so to speak. Right? Or some of the ones that are fringe gooners, right? They're not quite, but they're pretty close, and sometimes it's indistinguishable between the two groups. So when you have people that are just going to watch you because they think you look nice, and you give them something genuinely content-wise for them to look at and something to laugh at and something to joke with, now you have a more complex community of people that actually rock with you and will choose to watch you over some other streamers that they usually watch on a day-to-day basis or on a night-to-night basis. And if most streamers aren't streaming on a certain night and she goes up, now her numbers are jumping because people are like, oh, isn't that one guy that does da-da-da-da? That one girl that does da-da-da-da? And they just tap it. It takes one click, and she's over there either raging about a game, screaming because she's getting scared at a scary game or whatever the case, or giving a story time. Like, and the numbers start going, and now you get recognized as your own entity. You are your own sphere. You are your own ball at that point, dare I say, right? And of course, this stuff is it's always going to kind of be there because people are never going to forget that this was like an arc in your streaming career, in your content creator career. But she's only 19, so she has a lot of time, right? Let's say, honestly, she could really pivot, and then in a year and a half, maybe, right? People look at her differently and look at her as more of a genuine content creator and not an accessory, not a plug and play, not an addition to the meal, right? She's the entree, right? Right now she's like the barbecue sauce that you love to dip your fries in. Arguably, some days she can be the fries, but she's never really the chicken sandwich. She's never really the main thing, right? And it's one of those things where she's perfectly capable. Then she's more capable than most to make that pivot because she already has somewhat of a following, and they don't follow her because, oh yeah, they like seeing her get pressed. Now, some of them do, but more often than not, they follow her because they either like her personality or they think she's pretty. And those are two very, very bendable and moldable things, right? Those type of fans aren't going to simply break on you unless you do something absolutely outrageous, right? As long as she doesn't turn into a mean girl, she'll be fine. Just add something to it.